You talk about growing up in Flint, like you were almost like a witness, like a spectator, like just like you absorbed everything, right? Like maybe you weren't necessarily like the participant in the crime and everything, but this element is surrounded by you, and it comes out in your music. You know what I'm saying? Like you reflect all of it, you know? So you're talking about growing up in a city where every other house is boarded up. You've been on record about talking about there's a sense of hopelessness within the city. How are you being shaped by that growing up?
Um, so I'm an Aries, so I'm naturally very optimistic. Sometimes oblivious, sometimes so for me, how that shaped me was um mm, music and entertainment had to become the bubble that shielded me from the reality that I was living in. How as bad as Flint the environment is and was, it made my imagination have to be that much stronger. You know what I'm saying? It was like, the more gunshots I heard, the more driven I got to want to get out or to want to make something out of myself. The more friends of mine that died because of gun violence, the more I knew that that wasn't what I wanted to do. The more I seen my friends was having children in their teens and girls I used to kick it with having kids in their teens. And you know what I'm saying? It was like it was like everything that I saw that was negative, I took it, and instead of letting it mold me into becoming that, I used it to make me be the opposite of the things that I saw that I didn't like. And in Flint, it was a lot of that. It was a lot of just things that could if you don't have a strong will, it would definitely push you in the wrong direction. It's like, some cities have like parts of the city that's the hood. Flint, like the entire city is the hood. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like, and us being a small town, it's like, it's not too much to shoot for. It's not, you don't see things that motivate you or inspire you. I think that, not saying that every city doesn't have their own trials and tribulations, but I'm saying like if you live in LA, yes, there are bad parts of LA, but still, man, you got palm trees. You could go downtown, not downtown LA, but you could go to you could go see Malibu. You could go to Burbank and see where they shoot the Jimmy Kimmel show or whatever. Like those things are a reality to you. And Flint, the things on TV are literally like it's an entirely different world. You're never gonna get there. There's no possible way for you to get there. So be realistic with yourself. You're gonna die struggling in Flint. So you might as well just go get a job working at the shop. There's really like a defeatist attitude. So even more than the environment, the scenery itself, I think the mentality and the environment kind of have a toxic relationship with each other, that the city looks the way it looks because the people think the way they think, and the people think the way they think because the city looks the way it looks, and it's kind of negatively feeding on each other. And with me, it was just like, I don't want to be a product of that. I want to show people in my city that you can do something, that you can be better, that you don't have to be defined by these things. You are not your environment, like at all, at any point. You are what you say you are. And so for me, it was like, I'll bury myself in hip hop, comic books, pro wrestling, movies, and I'll create this naive reality in my head, and I'll believe it until it's a reality.
Yeah, man, it's kind of like psychological warfare in a way.
Yeah.
Like you're born into that, right? Where it's like you're almost taught to believe like why try when it's like there's no use in trying kind of thing, but you have to be
Yeah.
stronger than that in order to overcome it, And I like what you're talking about where like you had to make that a reality before it actually became a reality. It's kind of like, in this industry, like a lot of times people say in order to make it, you kind of got to be a little disillusioned, a
You
little
do.
delusional to in order to
You
believe
do.
that you're like the best, right? You got to like convince yourself that like you're really that good, that you're going to be the one out of millions in order to do it. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta believe. You have to. Yes, you have to be obsessed. I see CT Fletcher. I don't know if you up on CT Fletcher, bodybuilder.
Mm-mm.
Well, man, he's super inspirational and motivational. But he just had a video where he said you have to be obsessed with it. Like if you're not
Oh wait,
obsessed
didn't
with
you
your
post it?
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
yeah, and I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, because
yeah, CT Fletcher. Yeah, you gotta be obsessed with it, man.
yeah. So how would you describe yourself as a kid though? Like were you quiet? Were you really social? Were you like really into school,
I
sports?
was man, no, I was never into sports. Um, I was a personality wise, I was a shy kid. And I sometimes I don't know if I was so much shy as I was. I'm not really a I don't waste words. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't the type of kid that was just gonna start talking if didn't nobody ask me something. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm chilling. Like, and I think I'm still kind of the same way now. Um, as a child, probably too kind-hearted. I remember my mother having to yell at me because it would be times for Christmas. Man, it was if another kid didn't get nothing for Christmas, I would give them my toys for Christmas. And my mama would be like, "Can I cuss on here?"
Yeah, of course.
Okay, my mom's would be like, "Don't be giving them kids your shit. They ain't gonna motherfucking take care of your motherfucking shit. You better get your motherfucking shit." Yo, I was getting, hey, probably the only kid you know, dog, that was getting cussed out for being too nice. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that was me. Yeah, as a kid, I would rewrap my gift and try to give it to somebody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I've never been, even as a child, I've never been materialistic. Like material things don't make me happy. Like seeing like joy from other people, like that's what makes me happy. So it's like, I could play with this toy for a second, but seeing the look on their face when I give it to them, like that's fucking priceless. So as a kid, I think I was kind of too generous and too kind-hearted to a fault. I think I was very naive sometimes to the fact that sometimes everybody doesn't have your best interests at heart.
Mhm.
So I think I was too trusting as a kid, and I think I had to learn. I had to learn to have thick skin by trial and error. Thank God I'm a mentally tough person and I could take it. So yeah, as a kid, man, I was just chilling, always trying to help somebody, and I'm not trying to gas myself or put myself over, but that's genuinely who I was as a kid. I didn't get in a bunch of fucking trouble. I didn't go. I feel like I had common sense very early. If a bunch of kids was sitting there throwing rocks at a fucking building, I'm like, why the fuck are y'all doing that? Like, we gonna get in trouble. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was my mentality was, I'm not going out of my way to find trouble. I'm chilling. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was very cool, calm, collected as a child. Like I say, big heart. Um, my mom always say I was the kind of kid that other parents didn't mind babysitting, and I take that as a high compliment, man.
Where did you learn that generosity from? Where that kindness come from?
I'm gonna keep it so real with you. My mother often says, she said, and my nickname is Deucey, so she'll say, Deucey, there's parts of you that's not me or your dad, and it's just you, and I don't know where you got it from. So that's from my mother.
So I guess you can assume the Lord's gift then, or something along
Bro,
those
you
lines.
literally just
Yeah.
took the words out of
Yeah.
my mouth. Like, God, man. That's all I can say. God. And then by no means am I a perfect person. But I think to me, just injustice and wrongdoing just is dumb. Like being a shitty person is dumb. It don't cost you nothing to be nice. If somebody, if you don't like somebody, then you don't have to be around them. Everything doesn't need an opinion. Everything doesn't. Every fight isn't worth fighting. Choose your battles. Well, I'm just a very 1+1 is 2 type person, man. Like,
Mhm.
that's just how I am.